Yo, welcome back to another episode of Superhero Swag. I'm your host, Mr. Superhero Swag, and today we got your boy Heavy Duty G.I. Joe number 150 classified series, and this boy is packing. Bruh. Look at all the effects and the detail that they give you with this cat right here. Look at that. Heavy Duty is for real heavy duty. Look at that. Now, of course, I had to go grab this guy for my G.I. Joe collection. And later on this week, we will have a whole G.I. Joe collection video. I need to do that for my own personal edification so I can see where my collection is right now. Whoops, sorry about that. Where my collection is right now. And, be able to do an update and keep up on my progress as far as G.I. Joe Classified series next year. So I can, see how far I've come. Now, my main thing, and what's weird about that, is usually I'm all about the heroes, but I lean more towards the Cobra side as far as the whole G.I. Joe thing. I like Cobra's weapons. I like Cobra's look. And I'm pretty sure I have more Cobra action figures than I do G.I. Joe. So G.I. Joe is outnumbered in my universe. But Heavy Duty was one of those cats that I had to pick up for this whole weapons package that he has. Because as you know, in my universe, we have introduced the Hulk, and the army, in the armed forces, the military is going to be huge in agitating him and, keeping him in a pissed off state so that he is the Hulk that we know and love. So this guy is going to be a big part of pissing the Hulk off in my universe. And those that don't even know what I'm talking about this universe, check out my shorts feed here on 16 TV. It is an action figure comic book universe that I started, and it involves G.I. Joe Classified series, Marvel Legends, and Star Wars Black series. But getting back to this figure, all of the detail that they give you and all of the blast effects, these missiles are matching the baseball cap that the character has onto the back. And then you just basically see right here, there's a port where you can put onto the blast effect, and the blast effect itself goes into the hole. I basically have already been playing around with this thing, trying to learn the ins and outs before I did the review. So yeah, you take all of these missiles out, and then let's just get him out of this thing because I'm gonna have to do articulation. And I actually, fun fact, had to figure out how to put this whole thing together to get him in it, because it is just the tiniest bit complicated, just the tiniest bit. So I watched another review. I like watching a punk with toys, but his review was a little extensive, so I just wanted to get to the meat and potatoes and get to how to put the apparatus on the character. So I went to another reviewer, and I can't remember the reviewer's name, but he got straight to the point. And yeah, there you go. So as far as the figure itself, he is buff. This is a buff dude. I like the way they did the rip in the shirt to give way for the little butterfly joints. They do a little bit, but not as much as maybe they could. But I mean, for what it is, it does the job. For what it is, it does the job. To me, I'm not sure I'm really feeling the Chicago Bulls chain. Maybe he's from Chicago. I'm not really sure I'm feeling it, but I mean, detail is detail. And then the print in the pants, in the camo pants, is different. That's different. And this, what does it say on this watch here? If that keys in, I don't know exactly what it says on this watch. I think it has his blood pressure or his heart rate, and he's got a couple of grenades on his hip. And then he's got the knife. These knives, like I said about G.I. Joe Classified series, that's one of the reasons that I started collecting, because I think it's really cool that you can actually take these accessories off of the figure. As you see, he's got the serrated blade, throwing knife. That's pretty dope. And a lot of detail in that. And then all of the weapons can actually be stored on the figure, because he's got another one right here on his boot, and it is removable. Pretty much the exact same blade. So he's got the dual blade thing going on. I know I'll end up using that somewhere in the story. And then let's say he's got this hat that says Shred Head. And he's got the bill pulled up in the back. I'm not sure, you know, that's that's a style that I would rock, but hey, heavy duty is heavy duty. So he's doing his thing. He's repping Chicago, his dual knives, his blood pressure or heart rate wristwatch, and then this is like another just wristwatch. And then both of the hands that the figure comes with out of the box are, of course, the hands that he uses to hold the handles, the control handles, joysticks, whatever you want to call them for this. And then, like I said, you can see that the blast effects go into this porthole right here, and then the missile connects to the blast effect. And I know that they're pretty much interchangeable with other G.I. Joe action figures that have heavy duty artillery like that. So that's something that you can look forward to. If you're collecting G.I. Joe Classified series, I'm just going to give you the disclaimer right now. They are really fire action figures. All of them have drop down hips. You know what I'm saying? Most of them have drop down hips. As you can see, he's got a little bit, but not a whole lot going on drop down hips. But like characters like Snake Eyes, Kamakura, Storm Shadow, the Cobra Ninjas. I've even got a review coming later on today with a Cobra Trooper. And bro, all of them pretty much have the articulation that we as collectors are looking for. Like even with this, you can see he's got the ab rocker instead of the ab crunch. So he doesn't get a whole lot of frontward motion when you bring him forward. He gets a little better when you take him back. Yeah, but I mean, for a big, bulkier character, I'm not really looking for a whole lot of articulation like he's about to be doing, you know, flips and twists and kicks like he's Daredevil or Spider-Man. So he's a regular cat, big bulky dude that deals with the weapons. Now, other accessories that came with this guy. Let me stand him up right here next to his apparatus over here by this tree. and show you the box in the background. As you see, number 150, and he's giving attitude right there, and he does have that chain on in the picture. You know me, I don't care about the box. This is just for the people to do. I'm showing you a little bit of the box in the background. But that is what sold me. That is what sold me. That picture right there. We're looking menacing with the little eye patch thing. All right, so coming with the action figure, he has this bandolier right here that has some extra grenades on it because he is heavy duty. I took that off because it was easier for me to get the heavy artillery thing on him without that over his shoulder. But that's him with it on his shoulder, and that is him with the head sculpt that gives him his hat. He comes with the earphones. I say headphones. Let's say headphones. He comes with the headphones because when you're dealing with something like this, you're going to end up like Hawkeye in the MCU with all them explosions and all that shooting going on around that man. He's just a normal cat. He ended up deaf, hearing impaired, because all the explosions and stuff that went on around him, right? Sounds about right. That sounds like true life right there. All right, so the other head sculpt that we have, though, and this is, oh yeah, you hear that noise, fresh out the box. Let's see if we can get the focus. There we go. That is the other head sculpt. Showing off, he looks like he's got like some Big Daddy Kane stuff going on right here. Ain't no half stepping. Ain't no half stepping. Almost looks like Big Daddy Kane now that I said it. That's crazy. All right, so let's take the head sculpt. Let's pop him on. Now remember, this is brand new, so you want to take that, and there you go, and bam, you hear that pop, and then there he is without his hat. Butter blended fade, going into a little high top. It's got earrings on both sides, thick goatee. Me personally, I mean, you hop down in the comments and tell me what you think. Which one do you prefer? I like options. I'm glad they gave me both, so that I have him with his hat on, flip to the back for that flavor, because that's his personality. He likes to flip his hat to the back, or that's what him having his hat to the back says to me. And so then the boots, everything pretty much blends. He's got the brown and green boots to blend in with the weird print camel pants, and then like a cream colored, or it could have been white, but through fighting Cobra and running through deserts and jungles, and now fighting the Hulk. Yeah, it's not exactly white anymore. It's kind of weathered. Let's say that instead of dirty. But yeah, this is a pretty dope figure, man. Let's get into an articulation. Now, without the hat, even without the hat, you saw that he's only on a small dumbbell, so he's not really getting a whole lot of look up with just his head. You're gonna have to use the ab, have to use the torso articulation to give him a little more look up. He's got upper bicep swivel. You can get 360 motion out of that. Upper bicep swivel. He is double jointed, pinless elbows, double jointed, pinless knees. Give him the Robo Don't Know test, kicking his own ass. He's got the treads at the bottom of the boots as well as a peg hole. You got your little made in China. Shout out to Donnie Two Dolls and his tariffs, because he's a clown. But yeah, so yeah, him without the head sculpt, front facing pin for rocker, boot cut, all of the things that, what did I say earlier? All of the things that you want, or that we want as collectors as far as articulation, I mean, they're pretty much doing with the G.I. Joe figures. And I've even noticed that the neck itself on most of the G.I. Joe figures has a little articulation separate from the head. Everyone is still evolving with articulation though. So while this isn't a 10 out of 10, it is definitely good articulation. And I approve this message. Mr. SuperheroSwagg says, if you want some dope figures that are not superheroes, so that you can have regular people running around with your superheroes, you can't do much better than G.I. Joe Classified series, man. I'm gonna keep it real. I don't have a lot of real estate for like dragonflies and snowcats, and I wish I did, man. His tanks and stuff like that. Like, I mean, if I had the real estate for that, I would also do another commercial for G.I. Joe's vehicles, because they do an awesome job on that as well. But we've got a set of fisted hands that comes with him as well. He's got a set of fisted hands. There you go. And like I said, man, y'all get it like I get it. As soon as I get the pack, I give y'all the review. So as soon as it comes through my door, Amazon, boom, I set up the camera and you get it straight out the pack. You see the hands are still in there. Look at that. The hands are still taped in there, dude. This is fresh out the pack. His eye patch thing that I was just talking about is still under the tape. This is fresh for 88. You suckers. Okay, but yeah, so let's do the eye patch thing, because like I said, I had to go ahead and take that out. And see, this is also, you can use this for another character. I mean, you don't have to go on heavy duty. It finally focused in there. But it don't have to go on heavy duty. But, there we go. Yeah. I mean, so I like the accessories. I like the way, good catch. I like the accessories. I like the way everything can be stored on the figures. The articulation is on point. The detail on his heavy armament right here, this is fire. And I know that I can set it up to where it can be like its own thing, and he doesn't have to walk around with it. But that is good for a scene too, to be able to walk around with it. Like, this thing is a whole nother 2 or 3 minutes on a review with all the detail that's on this. Like, it's got portholes here and here where I have not used, that can also illustrate that this thing is doing its thing, fire with the firepower. There are also ports here for the same thing. And then you've got multiple ports down here with the missiles attack. Like, man, you can make this guy go crazy, man. You can make this guy go crazy. So my next thing that I got to do is, because he was more expensive, but in my whole journey with G.I. Joe, I want the classic looks of the characters. So classic Roadblock is expensive, bro. Like, whoa. Baroness? Bruh. Zartan? Bruh. Zartan, bro. The one that changed colors, bro. Like, when we was kids, I want to get all the action figures that I had when I was a kid, but just the updated versions. That's my journey with SuperheroSwagg. Bruh. Bruh. Hasbro understands the nostalgia, and they understand that they are not selling to kids anymore, and it shows. It shows. So, man, I'm not going to keep y'all too much longer. This is a dope figure. I will definitely give you a G.I. Joe Classified Series review. Actually not a review, but a video where I show the entire collection, my Cobra and my G.I. Joe side. That'll be coming up later on this week. My next review is the Cobra Trooper. I went and got 2 of those because pretty much every Trooper I get for Cobra, I have to get 2 or more because Cobra be deep, man. Cobra be deep. For real. They be deep. So yeah, like, I've got to ramble it again. Like, comment, subscribe, share, hit that little bell so that you get notified each and every time we drop new content, which we are going to be dropping more content. Like, it's going to be content crazy this week. Trust me, content crazy this week. We about to turn up and get to this 1,000 subscribers. Like, comment, subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Not subscribe. What the hell? Like, comment, subscribe, share, get notified. And until next time, peace.